changed the Duckie award, huh?
The trophy changed.
Trophy stayed the same. And to put some grease on it. It's the grease Duckie.
Upstairs now?
Good afternoon, everyone. We are the William Paterson College New Jazz Ensemble. We're from Wayne, New Jersey. On the drums, Mr. Hugh Seacott. From Wayne, New Jersey, Charles Gattuso on guitar. And yours truly, Chris Klinkar on the trumpet. Okay, right now we're gonna play.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain standing, as I know you will, because there are no chairs, for our national anthems, sung this afternoon by Damon Taylor.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Damon. Beautifully done. Damon, by the way, is the son of Officer Harold Taylor of the Detroit Police Department, who has ordinarily in the past number of years sung both anthems, and I think he certainly is a chip off the old block. Beautifully done. Our thanks also this morning to the Navy Color Guard, to the pipers of the Windsor Police Department, and we would like to thank the new jazz ensemble from William Paterson College, all the way from Wayne, New Jersey. They carry the title Best All-Around Collegiate Jazz Ensemble in America for 1989 as the 1989 Southern Comfort National Collegiate Jazz Champions. Let's give them a hand, too. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Canadians, Americans, friends, and sponsors of the 12th Annual Mayor's Rubber Ducky Championship. This year, the Ducky Championship has taken to land, as you can probably detect, in a rather challenging road course. I'm Jack Legoff. I'm going to serve as your MC this afternoon. And I might add that this is an all-important year, as this race has become symbolic of the Freedom Festival and the freedom and friendship enjoyed for so many years between our two fine countries. Victories of previous rubber ducky races, I'm sorry to say, total 6 for Canada and 5 for the United States. Obviously, a great number of Canadians among us this afternoon. I'd like now to introduce to all of you the people who put this great festival together year after year, the Detroit and Windsor Executive Committees. Please welcome our friends from Windsor, Margaret Williams, President. Margaret. Now, if you'd like to hold your applause until we finish with the Windsor Executive Committee, that would be fine. Hugh Naldrett, First Vice President. Barney Crichton, Second Vice President. Terry O'Rourke, Secretary. Directors, John Bentley and Harry Ewart. Past Presidents, Peggy Keynes and Bob Pedler. Appointed representatives, Reverend Canon Silcox and Kurt Deeg. And Brenda Steffes, and she is Managing Director, by the way, of the Canadian group. And her assistant, Christine Reed. I think that's all for the Canadians. Let's give them a nice welcome. I hope I didn't miss anyone. And our Detroit committee, John Archambault, President and Executive Officer, Great Lakes Transmission Company, Great Lakes Gas Transmission Company. John? Okay, go ahead. Now you can hold it. Al Sebastian of Little Caesars, Harold Mac Deason, partner in Bodman, Longley and Dowling, Richard Dungy, Director of Security for Detroit Edison, Ken Gellert, Vice President of Marketing, Cadillac Coffee Company, Prince Holliday, President of Metro Staff Temporary Services, Deputy Chief Mary Jarrett Jackson, Western Operations, Detroit Police Department, Georgella Muirhead, Director, Department of Public Information, Jack Pitts, Assistant Vice President, Community Affairs, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and Susan Carbon, Manager, Community Relations, Corporate Relations, AAA of Michigan. Also with us this afternoon, Denise Ilitch Lights, Senior Executive Vice President, and Lisa Ilitch Murray, Vice President, Corporate Communications, Little Caesars Incorporated. And last but not least, she is always last, it seems, but first in the hearts of all of her countrymen, Kathleen McNamara, Managing Director of the Detroit Executive Committee. Now, would you give them a nice welcome and round of applause? This year, the Detroit Executive Committee is directed under the leadership of a very special person. He's active on many committees and boards, including Detroit Renaissance, chairman of CBDA's lighting program, and he was named the 1989 Michiganian of the Year. Please welcome the President and Chief Executive Officer of Little Caesar Enterprises, Detroit's General Chairman, Mike Ilitch. Mike?
Thank you very much, Jack. Welcome, everybody. I still got chills running up and down my spine from Damon. That I get around a lot of hockey rinks, as you all know, and they play the Canadian anthem and the U.S. anthem, but I think he stacks up with anything I've heard. I'd like to give him another hand. This has been a great experience for me, being involved with the Freedom Festival. It's a wonderful thing, and John and I, who will be succeeding me, we're talking about some of the things that we might be incorporating next year. What a wonderful foundation to build from. to where I think this is going to be one of the greatest events in the United States, if not already, but I think we can really make this festival something to behold. With that, I'd like to thank Jack, and I'm really pleased to report that the 31st Annual Freedom Festival is in the final planning stages, and thanks to our many fine sponsors and volunteers. It will truly be the most exciting festival in Detroit and Windsor this summer. We are happy to announce that the festivities for 1989 will begin with a few preview events. On June 7th through the 10th, the Thunderbolts will roar at the Budweiser Spirit of Detroit Trophy Race. I would like to highlight some of the other events that will take place during the International Freedom Festival. For fitness enthusiasts, the Freedom Festival 10-mile run sponsored by Ford returns this year as a benefit to the American Diabetes Association and will take place on June 24th in the Greektown, Bricktown area. After the run, 200 antique autos will parade into Greektown during the Wheels of Freedom, featuring vintage costumes and award ceremonies. Also on the 24th, the George E. Vann Memorial Regatta will take place, benefiting the American Cancer Society, and there will also be a Detroit Film Festival featuring award-winning Michigan-produced films. There is the Tug Across the River on June 27th, Cinema Canada, a showing of award-winning films at the Detroit Institute of Arts on June 28th, Children's Day in the Cultural Center featuring many family activities also on June 28th, and a fortnight at historic Fort Wayne on June 30th. Once again this year, Hart Plaza Free Entertainment will present the best in local and national talent beginning June 29th, including McDonald's Gospel Fest on Sunday, July 2nd, and our own Detroit Symphony Orchestra will make its debut performance at the Plaza. We are also proud to announce the return of the Navy to Detroit. On June 29th, the USS Boulder will dock at Hart Plaza and remain through July 5th. On July 1st, we will salute the efforts of volunteers with a new event sponsored by Little Caesars. It's called Project Unite, Helping Hands. Volunteers from agencies throughout the metro area will join hands to form a 24-mile human chain down Woodward Avenue. Finally, the festival's signature event, Hudson's Freedom Festival Fireworks, will take place on Friday, June 30th, thanks to Hudson's WDIV-4 and WRIF 101 FM. This year's fireworks extravaganza will have more color and excitement than ever before, thanks to an all-new show by our new fireworks company, Zambelli International. And this year, businesses in Detroit and Windsor will be invited to leave their lights on during the fireworks spectacular. This gesture is symbolic of our effort in Detroit to make our city the lightest and brightest city in the world. In short, this year's Freedom Festival promises to be the best ever, with something for everyone. Again, I would like to thank our sponsors, and believe me, thank you sponsors, friends and volunteers who work hard to produce such a great international festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, very much. We're especially delighted to see all of you good folks here this morning or this afternoon. We are so thrilled to have you here that Mike Ilitch would like to present to each and every one of you a season pass to the Fox Theater. Now, I said he would like to. Unfortunately, the budget does not permit, but we tried.
We'd all give him a free event.
A free event during the Freedom Festival, right? From across the waters, Margaret Williams, president of this year's Windsor Freedom Festival Committee, will fill us in on the exciting Windsor events. Margaret?
Thank you, Jack. Your Honor, Your Worship, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. I feel a little like Alice in Wonderland in such a prestigious company and in such a magnificent setting. Of course, we will all miss the rubber ducky tugboat race around the hotel pool with its scent of chlorine and Canadian Club. But I think we'll soon get used to the smell of velvet and champagne as we inaugurate the First Annual Duckie 500 car race at the Fantastic Fox. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Windsor side of the festival, I'd like to thank you for your hospitality today. And I'd like to congratulate the Detroit side of the festival on their exciting lineup of events. Of course, we'll miss having the U.S. Navy ship docked at Windsor Riverfront this year. But we will have a Canadian ship, the HMCS Cormorant, will be docking on June 30th at Dieppe Park. I think I can say without exaggeration that in Windsor we have the best program of events that we've ever put together. The entertainment this year will appeal to all ages and tastes, from the #1 Canadian rock group Glass Tiger to the world-renowned Canadian brass, and of course Windsor's own Alexander Zonchik. Bet you thought he was a Detroiter. We are a family festival, and there'll be lots to keep the youngsters amused. A large display of animated dinosaurs, a Children's Day packed with activities, the Canada Day Parade, and of course the Midway rides. And if you're a history buff, the Voyageur Village might interest you, or the Rum Runners Ball. Both of these events really help to relive some of the more colorful times of Windsor and Detroit history. However, for real excitement, nothing can beat the thrilling aerobatics of the Canadian Air Force Snowbirds. They will headline the largest air show Windsor or Detroit has ever hosted. For an advanced taste of the two-day air show, the Snowbirds will be doing a flyover of downtown Windsor and Detroit during the opening ceremonies of the festival on Friday, June 23rd. Marine Day on July the 2nd will focus on the river, with the tugboat race only one of the many activities planned. So other events this year, which I can't mention them all, but we do have two new ones, and one is a hot air balloon race and an international tennis tournament in which we hope there'll be participation from both Windsor and Detroit. We think we have 101 reasons for Detroiters to visit Windsor during the festival. We also hope that out-of-state visitors will choose the Detroit-Windsor area as a travel destination during the festival. Where else in the world can you visit two cities in two countries in one day, or even in 1 hour? In fact, we think that we have a real two-nation vacation. Now I'd like to announce the winner of the Paul Lutzire Award, which is given annually, and in Windsor we have selected to receive this award, which is for long-term volunteer contribution, to Rod Beaton. Rod Beaton was responsible for reviving the tugboat race about 15 years ago and building it into the event it is today, with drawing tugboats from all over the Great Lakes. So congratulations to Rod. And finally, I'd like to also thank our loyal corporate sponsors and the City of Windsor for their financial support of the festival. All we need now is a large helping of fine, sunny weather. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Obviously, it sounds like another exciting Freedom Festival on the Windsor side. Now please welcome Windsor Mayor and Honorary Chairman of the Windsor International Freedom Festival, His Worship, John Millson. Mayor, good to see you.
Good seeing you. Thank you. Well, it sounds like it's going to be just a fun-filled event for the next month and a half. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Ilitch for this fine set of coveralls that he gave me for racing, which he gave us back, what, a month and a half ago, was it? You notice I've been able to keep my weight somewhat trimmed so that I could get into it today and get prepared for this race. The honor, I think, has been eating too much birthday cake lately that hasn't been able to get into it. I have to tell you, Mayor, we're going to be both somewhat overweight over the next month and a half after this wonderful event takes place. And I think that congratulations certainly have to go to the committees on both sides of the border, because of any other place in the entire world, this certainly exemplifies the tremendous amount of love and affection and caring that goes between two great nations and formulates a treaty of the future for our children and our families. And this International Freedom Festival is certainly a mark of the future that the City of Windsor and the City of Detroit will enjoy for many, many, many generations to come. Congratulations once again to our groups, and I am definitely looking forward to this race this morning. I hope the mayor realizes, though, of course, that I don't have the vast amount of experience that you have in these past races, and will certainly show some form of pity and compassion towards your smaller neighbor across the water. But having said that, I look forward to the race. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Millson. And certainly a man who is no stranger to this event. Please welcome the Mayor of the City of Detroit and Honorary Chairman of the Detroit Freedom Festival, Mayor Coleman A. Young.
Thank you very much. Again, we open the first ceremony of what promises to be the most spectacular Freedom Festival to date. This festival has a long and rich history. Every year it seems to get bigger and better, and this is a special year. I think that the City of Detroit and the City of Windsor have grown closer together in the year since the last festival than during any previous year. The major cause for that would be the treaty, the pact, the trade agreement between our two nations that's just been signed, and which offers great promise to both Windsor and Detroit. I don't know where else along the entire Canadian-American border you could find a more likely spot with two cities having already established fraternal relationships over a period of years to be the logical focal point of exchange of trade between our two nations. In anticipation of that, we've taken a lot of steps jointly. We have now a joint port authority as between Windsor and Detroit, and we're making joint plans to share in what I think will be a real bonanza for both our nations. I think that the fact that we've been able to cooperate so well in these freedom festivals augurs well for our ability to continue to work even more closely and guarantee positive results from this new unity.
As mentioned, I'm Jeffrey Poole. I'm Vice President of Trappers Alley Limited Partnership and a self-professed property doctor. Back in 1982, I left a project.
responsive to us in our quest for civic things that our church congregation has been about. And we're happy that he is here to say a word to us today at this most crucial time. And I would like to introduce you, as we go into our pulpit, the Mayor, City of Detroit, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it's an honor to be able to be here at Ensemble Baptist Church. Already this morning, I've been to St. Paul on James, Macedonia on Mac, and now here. I leave here tonight to the King, and spoke to my elders. As I speak to Mark, since I spent all my life on the east side, it's like old home week. I know many people in the congregation and look across the audience, and I'm very familiar with your church activity. As I look back on the time I spent in Detroit, the history of Detroit, and particularly of black people in Detroit, is largely the history of the church in Detroit. The church is so typical of the citizens of the city. The indomitable courage, refusing to quit, marching forward in the face of all odds, with the people of the city out. This is a great city because the people are great, but the people keep on keeping on. If you wish to take a measurement of the temperament of the spiritual condition of the city of Detroit, of the economic condition of the city of Detroit, don't forget that we start with the churches all across the city. Churches that begin to grow. And as they grow, they not only look after the spiritual needs of the congregation, but they devoted themselves to improving the community in which they are located. That's an aspect of our city and its stability that most critics refuse to recognize. Foremost among those critics, of course, are our newspapers. Under the city of the United States, which has more negative newspapers than the city of Detroit, they resolutely refuse to see anything good about the city. They persistently buzz the negative. That was bad. We have a lot of problems in the city, and I'm sure those that know where those problems you or I, we make a lot of progress too, and we should know that, and we're continuing to move forward. If I talk about the neighborhood, well, I was raised on the Lower East Side, the area along St. Albans, James, Mother, those problems, that area is all brand new now. It's been rebuilt in the last 15 years. I remember 1973 when I stood on the corner of Sheen and Waterloo and a big lot with weeds up to my knees saying that I will rebuild Black Rock. You take that down there lately, you know it's rebuilt. The same is true of Hastings Street, which is now quite respectable. New houses, new shopping center, new community center, and on and on. We're rebuilding our city the same way it's torn down. The first building we rolled over was shot out. That's the first thing we rebuilt. We built it on the riverfront. So that way it's in and we move out the riverfront into the rest of the city. The city is moving.
get the red for it. Our young people have been trading for it. And after the 90s, in 10 short years, we'll get the 21st century. We should start planning now. So this question is, who's going to elect leadership of Detroit for the 90s and 21st century? Shall it be you? Or shall it be the Detroit News Press? It's just one newspaper. You know, the JOA, the Joint Operating Agreement, is supposed to take effect 3-4 ever approved it. In the future, it's taking effect now. It's only one newspaper. They both think the same lady song. They think you don't have enough sense. They're in your own mind to understand the rules and the church for. They think you have enough sense to take your own leadership. I say this election will determine who picks that leadership. Whether it's the newspaper, the absentee newspapers, the editors living out of the city, all the way down out, whether the people who live in the city of Detroit. I think it ought to be you. And neither one of the papers is your opinion. I said that several months ago, I had to do my chief opposition. I said the newspaper. I did not expect them to refuse to endorse the man on city. He built water houses for the people in the city that want to rebuild the city. As an individual, the name of the elected official, he's been a successful pastor until he retired. A son started the church, and I think it's outrageous that both papers should refuse to endorse Nick Lewis because he's independent and stand on his feet. And every now and then he goes to a week of meeting. He's not the only one. There are two others. David Everhart, Reverend David Everhart, who sits outside the home here on COVID here today, and Barbara Rose Howard. Both of them, outstanding members of council, independently, won't let the Detroit News Press speak for them. Well, they must be punished. Now, over the years, both of the Detroit have distinguished themselves by being sophisticated and independent. I have the ability to go through weeds and weeds of misinformation and pick the kernel of the truth. Do the right thing. This election will be all about the again. This election is a direct challenge by the news media of this city of your right to make your own choices. I'm happy to have the privilege to speak to you this morning, and I'm very confident that if you go to roll a week from next Tuesday, you will first use the right stuff for mayor, and then go for the 3 independent council persons that the newspaper is filing on. Thank you very much. But one thing that we have in common, we lived in the city a long time. We've seen a lot of down. We've seen a lot of struggle. But we see continued movement forward. I'm happy to be here this morning at St. James. St. James typifies what the church is all about. Now, this campaign is coming to a close. I've already been to St. Paul, over on Sheen and Hunt. That was my grandfather's church. I just left Macedonia, over on Mac. That was my grandmother's church. I remember both of those churches when they were down in Blackhawk. I remember St. James, when we were located on the bar, down the basement, remember that? Started building the church during the Depression, ran out of money, and so they conducted services in St. James in that basement for a number of years. But part of the thing is, St. James didn't quit. We moved out of that basement into a bigger church. And now this was packed. Can't hardly get in here. That's the way it should be. I remember before Reverend Nix died, he was talking about a new church over on Mac. You all know about that. I want you to know, Reverend Nix was my good friend. You know that. I am still ready, willing, and able to help this church move and expand wherever you want to expand. And I think you need to expand. It's not close, it is. But I said, anyone who's interested in whether or not there's any vitality in Detroit, whether or not there's any progress in Detroit, that's only to look at our churches. That's where the energy is. That's where the spiritual mountain stone is. And all across this city, churches are moving forward and expanding, serving not only the spiritual needs of the congregation, but also helping the economic and material needs of the community. So those who tell you that this city is going backwards, that it hasn't improved, are blind, will not see. You know better. When I took office in '74, I had come out of a hard campaign this time in '73. I was standing in a field, a vacant lot, on the corner of Waterloo and Sheen. It was all over down. Nothing there. I promised the elected mayor I would rebuild Blackhawk. You know Blackhawk has been rebuilt. What do you hear about it? I promised I'd rebuild Hastings Street and 12th Street. Hastings Street is now Spicer Expressway. If you go up down Project Expressway from Jefferson to Ford Expressway, all new. Housing, churches, shopping centers. 12th Street was still burned in '74. It's all new now. Housing on both sides of the street, shopping. We'll take care of the homeless. We need jobs. I'm here today, as the campaign winds down, ask St. James to join me in the last best effort to get out the maximum vote. It's important to everybody. everybody hope that we, from this coming Tuesday, November 7th, some time ago, someone asked me, who should come home? They want to interpret it for you, tell you what it means. They don't think you have enough sense to pick your own leaders. They want to pick it for you. People in this city have been doing it for years, for doing their own thing. Being able to weed their way through all kinds of misinformation and disinformation and come up with the truth. Come up with the right thing. Come up with the right stuff. I know you're capable of doing that. I didn't expect them to endorse me. I want you to know I was somewhat shocked when both newspapers decided not to endorse the longest serving member of Detroit City Council. Just because he's independent, it won't let them do his thinking for him. They refuse to endorse a man who's not only an outstanding pastor of a church, but he also has done more to build houses for average people, for poor people in this city. I refer to those people now, to Reverend Nicholas Hood. They did a disservice. They refused to endorse Nick Hood because he was independent. He wouldn't let a thing for him. And in his own good judgment, when he got ready from time to time, he supported me. And that's a horrible thing in the eyes of the newspaper. But now, once they refused to endorse Nick Hood, they picked two other members of city council. Councilman David Everhart, he's sitting over there, who also is independent and thinks for himself. And Councilwoman Barbara Rose Collins, independent woman. Barbara Rose, as you know, is in the hospital today. You'd be happy to know that she did not have a heart attack. She was just exhausted. She has been having a number of personal problems. Not only she had a determined paper refusing to endorse her, but her son had some problems. And every time for the last 3 weeks that Barbara Rose's name has been in the paper, they spent 3 or 4 paragraphs of what her son did. And her son is now running to say, understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to take over this city. Some of those areas that is far away is Ann Arbor. They don't know anything about Detroit and don't care that much. They don't want to live here, they just want to run it, that's all. It's up to us to see that that doesn't happen. So after you, for the next 9 days, knock on a few extra doors. Talk to a few extra people. Take some folks with you to the poll on Tuesday the 7th. And after you get through doing the right thing on the mayor's job, you know you